Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is qualifying for race number 15 in season number 6 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill Truck Series. We are here at the Armory Digital Super Speedway, Seattle, Washington, for the Intuit Quickbooks 200 tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, a big day tomorrow. We got some signups going on and all that stuff. Definitely recommend checking out Napa Fan tomorrow night. But we're here on a Thursday night, and just coming off of a race last night here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series where Trey Smith went flag to flag at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I doubt we're going to see that tomorrow night. This is a Super Speedway. We're going to have back-to-back Super Speedways here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Armory Digital in Talladega on Wednesday. But I think even bigger, I have a really special guest alongside me, Cameron Garlington, joining me for this week's race here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. First of all, your first ever race you've done with me, so no pressure, don't worry about it, man. We're just doing this for fun. But curious to see how this race is going to go. We're going to expect a lot of passing, but you've seen races here before. What is the strategy to win here at a place like Armory Digital? You did so in season number 3 of the Turkey Hill Series, so you definitely know how to get it done here at this place.
I did. Honestly, the best thing you can do is if you can get down to the bottom lane, you can ride the draft and you can make your way up front. Just not making passes too soon, and that's pretty much it. It's not really too difficult here to win. It's just about just being at the right place at the right time.
And that's how a lot of the super speedways are on the circuit. Of course, this is one of the super speedways that we actually run restrictor plates on. We don't at Daytona and Talladega, so that makes it a little bit interesting. But last year this race ended on a wreck, so could see something very similar. 20-lap race tomorrow, so longest race we've ever had here in the Truck Series before. It used to only be 12 laps back when we only did 15% of the length, and now we do 25% of the length, and it's going to be a 20-lap race tomorrow for the Intuit Quickbooks 200. So no pit stops. It's all about being in the right place at the right time, just like Cameron said, and we're going to have to see it all plays out. And here in qualifying, we got somebody blowing up already, and of course, no matter what happens in a qualifying session, the times will stand. That is Cole Sampson in the 91, who comes into this race third in the points. Looks like he's got an issue right there. Won at Watkins Glen earlier this year, and he's going to have to come back around and try to fix that number 91 machine.
Yeah, and that's a hard hit to qualify. You definitely want a good starting position here, especially if you can get some points for leading your lap. Really, though, starting in the back here isn't always a bad thing, especially if there is an early wreck. You can get past it pretty easily.
We'll have to see what Sampson can do once he gets back out there. Of course, we use 10-minute sessions for tracks 1.5 miles and longer, so he'll have enough time to get back out there and get a lap time in. Joshua Rush, currently the fastest driver on the racetrack. Of course, here in Armory Digital, like Cameron said, the draft comes into play, and we're going to see these guys getting runs off of the people in front of them. But the thing is, also like what Cameron said, where you start doesn't really matter too much. You can work your way from the back to the front here very well. A lot different than what it was last week, or I should say yesterday, at the Bristol Motor Speedway when Fisher G started in the back, but he actually moved his way through the field pretty well to avoid losing a lot of ground on the rest of the field. Of course, coming into this race, Fisher G has a 57-point lead ahead of Edwin Mendez. Of course, Edwin Mendez won at Pocono last week. And we'll have to see what happens in this one. This being a wild card race, any of those guys can finish anywhere in the field, and where you start doesn't really matter too much. It's all going to be about where they finish in the race tomorrow. But Eric Monaco has taken the fastest time in number 79. With Dan Park in second, Dale Lightning, Matthew Logan has gone to the second position now. Nick Smith joining him right there. Those two trucks right there with a really good draft. Number 2 machine, Dan Park now down to 4th, and Ace Garcia in the 5th position. Eric Monaco under 50 seconds. 5 drivers under 50 seconds.
Looking at Eric Monaco, he's looking really well here. Kind of not really drafting with anybody. And there he goes. Now he's lost just pole position, but
Emily Anderson has taken the top position away. And she's got a lot of drafting help right there ahead of her of Joshua Rush and Dale Lightning.
Yeah, looking at Monaco there, as soon as he fell out of that pack, shows just how important being around other drivers is.
Ace Garcia taking advantage of the draft right there. He got a good push off of Matthew Logan, I should say. We got two Logans moving around here in the community now, and I can't get them straight. And Ace Garcia under 49 seconds right there, had a really good lap time. Emily Anderson in second, Matthew Logan, Eric Monaco, Dan Park, Nick Smith, Nicholas Samadillo, Chris Skinlart, Skylar Perry, and Joshua Rush. See where our points leader Fisher G is on the right. And again, that's the second time for Cole Sampson. He's not even going to get a time in.
Wow, that's a hard one.
I've never seen that happen before, where a driver's blown an engine twice in one session, but there is an obvious major issue on that number 91 machine. And they are definitely going to have to start in 36th position tomorrow night.
And that's one that's gonna haunt them tomorrow if they can. Hopefully they can get over their problems, but that's gonna definitely haunt them.
We'll have to see what Fisher G can do in tomorrow's race as well. He's currently 30th, but there'll be opportunities for these guys to move their way through the field, so it's not all lost for Fisher G. I mean, even at Bristol, he started in the 32nd position, ended up finishing 14th. He gained in that short 50-lap race 19 positions, I think. 18 positions. That is a lot for a short track like Bristol, where passing is really difficult and it only being a 50-lap race, and that definitely shows that Fisher G is going to be a contender for every race we have until the finish of the season, which is going to make it harder for these guys to close in on him in the championship. The thing is, though, Fisher G is yet to win a race this season, so going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, but a 57 points lead for Fisher G, whereas nobody can surpass him in the points at the end of tomorrow night's race. We're just going to have to see how it all shakes out for him in this one. He could lose a lot of ground in both of these super speedway races coming. Of course, got Armory Digital tomorrow night and then Talladega on Wednesday. Main thing is, you just don't want to get caught up in a wreck, but you know how these races can go, and we've seen a lot of wrecks on these super speedways in the past.
Oh yeah, so many. Especially, I believe they can run about 4, sometimes 5 wide here, just depending on the correct conditions. And I'm curious to see how these trucks will handle it. But yeah, I'm expecting a pretty good race.
It definitely will be one of my favorite races to do in the trucks every year. Intuit Quickbooks 200. Of course, Cameron Gaju won the first one all the way back in 2015, and he won it on the outside lane when we didn't expect it. So anything's possible here in Armory Digital. It's always a wild race here around this high bank 2.6 mile super speedway in Seattle, Washington. And next year, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series will attempt another points-paying race here. Of course, the first time we did it back in Season 7 was a little bit of an issue with the pit strategy, unfortunately. A lot of guys had to come down the pit lane right at the end of the race. We'll thankfully avoid that for next year, but this place, we've been coming here in some way, shape, or form ever since the first year of Napa Fan, and we love this place, and we're going to have another great one tomorrow night. And looking good for Ace Garcia right now, looking to get that pole position. What should Ace Garcia do, though? I know it's really difficult to keep the lead at a place like this, but what should Ace Garcia do to attempt to stay out front here at the Armory Digital Super Speedway? I mean, we saw at Daytona earlier in the season, Gianna and Zachary Fitzwater started up front, and they led every single lap, those two drivers. Do you think we're going to see something similar tomorrow, or do you think we're going to see a lot of passing up front in tomorrow's race?
Honestly, it's hard to tell sometimes, depending on who's being aggressive and who's not. It can really change the outcome of it. They can start off passing a bunch and then towards the end kind of mellow out and kind of hold to their lines. But I feel like towards the beginning of the race, it'll be kind of hectic and there'll be a lot of passing. But I think once we get down to the maybe 10 laps to go mark, I think they'll kind of be mellowed out and we won't see as much passing.
We'll have to see how it all shakes out tomorrow. Only 20 laps in the race, so they're going to be going pretty early. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets it done, especially after what we've seen lately with Edwin Mendez starting to close in a little bit on Fisher G in the points. And I mean, it's a lot like the Chick-fil-A Cup Series was over the summer, and Nathan Barrett just dominated the field and took the championship away 2 races early, but still a much greater chance for these guys to get to the points leader than it was in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And you got to watch out for that guy right there, Edwin Mendez. Past couple of races, 2 top 10s in a row. Of course, he won at Pocono last week and had a great run last night at Bristol, so watch out for him. He's going to be starting deep in the field, however, in 28th right now. Actually, currently starting below, Fisher G is 31st right there, so he's only starting about 3 positions ahead of Fisher G in the race. So we'll have to see where they end up finishing tomorrow. But it looks like Ace Garcia, number 55, is going to start on the pole position and lead the field of the green flag for tomorrow night's Intuit Quickbooks 200 from the Armory Digital Super Speedway. I believe after this session, after this timer's done right here, we'll be done with qualifying. Don't think they're going to add any more time to it, so that'll be it. And it will be Ace Garcia leading the field of the green flag in the Intuit Quickbooks 200 from Armory Digital. Only driver under 49 seconds. Got a really good draft in this session. And he's going to have the benefit of starting on the pole position tomorrow in the 15th. I did it again. 15th race of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Ace Garcia on the pole. Emily Anderson, Matthew Logan, Eric Monaco, and Dan Park, the top 5. Take a look at the rest of the results. Check for any ties. We do not have any, so we should be good to go. That's how they're going to line up. Cole Sampson did not get a time in, so he'll start in the last position. Andrew Ross also had issues out there as he's stuck at 55 seconds, so we'll have to see what those guys do in the race tomorrow. But other than that, that's how they're going to line up for tomorrow's Intuit Quickbooks 200. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for the 20-lap race from Armory Digital. Let's see who gets it done at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on NapaFan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Ace Garcia, and I will see you guys later.
See you guys.